And now making his way to the ring in this 4-round cruiserweight attraction from Arizona, David Damore.
There is David Damore out of the blue corner. His last bout, Doug, a little bit of a layoff here. September of 2015, he was knocked out in 3 rounds by Cesar Ruiz. Interesting, he has 3 draws in 6 fights, so obviously a guy that'll battle hard, but may not do enough to actually win the fights. He comes in with a record of 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and that one victory, it took him a while to get that victory. I think he had 3 consecutive draws, then a loss, and then he finally got that victory. So there is some stick-to-itiveness to him, but he is coming off some inactivity.
Deckmann.
And there is the aforementioned Marco Deckmann from Germany. Freddie Roach says he has a great work ethic, really fast hands and combinations. He feels as though he will be the future of the cruiserweight division. He says, end of the day, he is a real prospect. Doug, we shall see.
Yes, time will tell. He's not a young man. He's not old by cruiserweight, heavyweight standards. You know, in the heavyweight division, you could be in your late 20s and still be considered a prospect. So he does have some time on his side, but not a lot. But he does have the frame of a cruiserweight, more so than Mr. Damore.
All right, so both fighters are now in the ring as we kick things off here. 360 Promotions presenting Hollywood Fight Night. Let's kick it up to Joe Martinez.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are set to go with our first bout tonight. 4 rounds, this in the cruiserweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing blue trunks, trimmed in white, he weighed in 195 pounds. He enters the ring tonight for the 7th time as a professional from Chandler, Arizona. Here is David Damore. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing solid white trunks trimmed in gold, he weighed in 194 pounds even. Tonight, he makes his professional debut, fighting out of and representing Los Angeles, California. Here is Marco Deckmann! And your referee in charge of the action is Zach Young.
Let's get a look at this tail of the tape. Deckmann at age 27, 6 years younger. He has the height advantage and a decided reach advantage, Steve. And I would say Deckmann has the type of style to take advantage of his advantage in wingspan.
So we begin round number 1, Deckmann and Damore. 4 rounds in the cruiserweight division. And we kick things off here. If you have a question or comment on, well, let's get to this first. Deckmann starting off very fast. Seems to have shaken Damore early on here in round number 1.
He's able to reach Damore, and Damore is not yet able to reach Deckmann. As we saw with the tail of the tape, Deckmann has much longer arms, and he's visibly taller.
And he seems to be finding a home for that overhand right early on against Damore. Keep this in mind, Damore has been stopped twice. And there's a right hand to the body by Deckmann.
And what you'll notice about Deckmann's power punches, and even his jab he just kind of puts it out there, but you'll see he doesn't turn his punches over. The hook and his right cross or his straight right, he doesn't turn it over at the point of impact, so he's not landing with the knuckle part. Not consistently anyways, and that's something that Freddie Roach is going to have to work on.
And there's another quick 1-2 by Deckmann and another overhand right.
Seems a little bit tight in the first round of his pro debut, but obviously not overwhelmed by the moment.
Yeah, you get the sense he's not the most fluid fighter, and there's already blood coming out of the nose of Damore. He certainly seems affected by it. It's being peppered again by right hand.
Damore's not going to be able to get much done on the outside. He's got to get within arm's reach of Deckmann. It's the only way he can be competitive.
And Doug, it's interesting to see Freddie Roach actually in the corner in a 4-round fight. It's been a period of adjustment for this lauded trainer. Really, I think post-Pacquiao, he's almost had to rebuild his stable here recently.
Well, he's done that time and time again. It's part of the reason he's in the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
And there's another overhand right, then a left hook. The one thing I do see with Deckmann, they're really going to have to work on that left hook. Doesn't really do a great job of turning that over with his elbow. You see some athleticism, but you can see it's still very, very raw, even though he is 27 years old.
Yeah, and he does have some amateur experience, but
certainly
not
looks
a lot.
The part.
Yeah.
Certainly looks the part physically, though. I will say that.
He understands distance. And he's boxed from a smart distance this entire opening round.
And that is the end of round number 1 out there on the Twitter sphere. We want to say hello to David B., watching all the way from Australia. And he says, thanks to Tom Loeffler for not geo-blocking the stream. Also, Aaron the Sheik says, watching on Roku's live stream channel. Search 360 Promotions and you can watch live.
What's up, Aaron?
And also, a guy that we're very familiar with, Francisco A. Salazar, Boxing Scene and Ring Magazine. He says hello. He's watching us.
One of the hardest working boxing writers in one of the busiest regions in the world, Southern California.
And we talking about Freddie Roach earlier. Some of the members of his new stable include Toka Khan Clary, featherweight titleist, or contender actually. Pretty good fighter out of Providence, Rhode Island. Then Joselito Velasquez, junior flyweight, managed by Frank Espinoza, who I think has a real future. And 2016 Olympian from Mexico, Raul Curiel. So it's a new day and time for Freddie Roach. All right, we're being told that Cynthia Conte has a special guest. Cynthia, take it away.
You know, but it's things that are out of my hand because of the delay. I couldn't make it, but you know, I'm here right now.
How do you feel to be fighting on Superfly 3 card again in front of all your fans, Puerto Rico fans, like everyone that's going to be watching this fight?
I'm very, very excited to be again on HBO and on the Superfly again. It's another great opportunity, and being here in California fighting again is so awesome for me.
Well, you have a tough opponent. I interviewed him from Japan. He came out of retirement. He wants to go for a 4th division world title. You're the one that has to stop him. Are you excited?
Oh, most definitely. I'm here to fight always the best, so I know he's going to have a tough night also.
All right. Now, you know what? You just got to see one round of this guy, Marco Deckmann and Damore. What did you see so far? He's making his pro debut in the white.
Well, he's dominating. I think it's a question of time. I think he's going to take him out of there pretty soon.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to the fights. Make sure you guys tune in. McWilliams Arroyo, Superfly 3, September 8th, HBO Boxing After Dark. All right. Thank you. Enjoy the fights.
All right, thank you, Cynthia. Here in round number 2, and Dave Damore seems to be doing, or at least attempting to close the gap a little bit. At least more than he did in round number 1.
Yeah, but it's Deckmann that's in control, and Deckmann's a little bit more settled. He's putting a little bit more behind his punches. He seems a little more relaxed and fluid with his shots. And like I said, it's sort of a poor man's version of the Klitschko's, but that's what his style kind of reminds me of. A lot of jabs. There's the occasional right hand, then he backs out, and then he's back in with the jab. And that jab has been the bane for Damore. Just really doesn't have an answer for it. And he's not trying to counter under or over that shot.
Round number 2 here. Technically a heavyweight bout, but Deckmann really is a cruiserweight, weighed in at 194, Damore at 195. Kicking things off here at the Avalon in Hollywood for the 3rd edition of Hollywood Fight Nights, brought to you by 360 Promotions.
Now, this is a cruiserweight bout. You're old school, Steve. You're thinking about 190 as the cruiserweight limit. It's been 200 for a while now.
You know what? You're right about that.
But Deckmann has a nice frame for a cruiserweight. Good height, good reach. And he's got a fighter's instincts. That's going to be a technical knockdown. The ropes held Damore up.
And they wave it off. So there you have it. Marco Deckmann improves or moves to 1-0, makes a successful professional debut at age 27, scoring a second-round knockout over David Damore. Doug, I think the question is, at age 27, how much of an upside is there really with this young man?
I think there's a lot to work with, but there's a lot of work to be done as we see this technical stoppage. What was a technical knockdown, it became a technical stoppage at the behest of Damore's corner, and I'm not mad at them because Damore just wasn't offering up enough resistance for this fight to continue.
Yeah, from a rule standpoint, if the ropes hold you up from a landed punch, that is, by rule, a knockdown. And then after a while, Zach Young just looked in his eyes and he probably just figured this fight was probably headed one direction, and that was downhill for David Damore.
I think Deckmann's got a decent foundation. He's got some fundamentals there. There's enough of a foundation for a veteran elite trainer like Freddie Roach to build upon. But they don't have a lot of time. Like I said, you know, age 27 would be really old for an advanced age for a featherweight or even a welterweight. For a cruiserweight or for a heavyweight, it's not considered too late, but they don't have a lot of time to waste.
Yeah, so there you have it. Let's get the particulars from Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 2 minutes, 58 seconds, round number 2. Referee Zach Young puts a halt to the bout. Your winner by KO victory in his professional debut, Marco Deckmann!